Hey everybody, and welcome back! So in just a few moments, we're going to be talking to Jason Mays. Now he's the lead developer advocate for Tensorflow.js. I'm excited to see what's been going on with the project, what his efforts are like bringing that to the web developer community. But before we do, let's take a step back and let's just do a little research on what Tensorflow.js is. And we're not going to spend too long here because there's so much to cover, but let's look at this GitHub page, Tensorflow.js. So let's jump right to this link, js.tensorflow.org. So Tensorflow.js, it's a library for machine learning in JavaScript, in the browser or Node.js. There's a lot of different applications for machine learning, so this is not terribly descriptive of everything you can do with it. I'm interested in some of the more unique applications rather than the simpler stuff that I hope Jason will be able to talk about. But so let's take a look at some of these demos. This is pretty interesting. So I gravitate towards this lip sync example right here. So let's load this up. I am ready to see how well I can lip sync, so let's do it. Ask me permission to use my camera, so let's see. Turn the sound up and lip sync to 1 minute. I don't think I know this song. Oh, I have to hit I'm ready. Lots of nice animations in this page. It's a great example. All right, center myself. So in this example, let's turn the sound down here. You're not seeing much in the way it looks like it's rating me as I sing along and move my lips. And I'm not even listening to it right now, so maybe it's not that terribly accurate. I'm more interested in seeing what's going on. Like how does it know if I'm lip syncing? So let's back up a little bit and look at some of these examples. And you know, there's not too much here that I'm interested in. I am interested in move mirror, but I know this is, they took this experiment down, but if you look at this demo here, so you can see there's something here that can track my poses. So this is pretty interesting. What it does is it looks at your pose and tries to match, through image results, a pose that looks like yours and an image that exists somewhere online. So this is pretty cool. I want to see some live demos though, so let's load up some stuff. So to see some of the more interesting stuff with TensorFlow, we have to dive into the specific models. And these are the machine learning, the trained models that have been trained with a bunch of data and we can finally use. Luckily these already exist. Here's a model called pose detection, and let's scroll down and take a look at some of these demos. MoveNet right at the top. So I'm going to allow my camera here. And here we go. Look at this. I can see myself, but it's tracking where my eyes are, where the sides of my head are, and it's looking at, it knows where my hand is, where my shoulder is. And if I stood up and show my whole body here, you can see that it captures my hips, my legs, my feet. So it's really tracking my pose great in real time. So, and there's a whole bunch of different options here. Score threshold. So I'm saying right here, as I scroll this up, you better be really sure before you tell me that it's an actual part of my body. So as I loosen up the confidence, more parts of my body start shining through here. So look at this frame rate right here. It's pretty high. It's doing a great job at refreshing and rendering these points. Let's look at some other demos. So check this out. This is the face landmarks detection. Again, we're running at 84 frames per second, super fast. It's tracking my face very well. And it's tracking a lot of detail on my face. like it's generating an entire 3D mesh of my face right here. And what you get back from the API, what you get back from the results as you process each frame of your video, is you get back a bunch of points. And the visualization here is, it connects all the points together, makes them into a mesh that, you could use in a 3D environment, which as I'm talking, you can see it matches my lips. I'm gonna blink around a little bit. You can see it track my eye movements as well. So it looks really, really good, really accurate, really fast. So this is impressive. Let's take a look at another one though. So now this next one, this is for depth estimation, and this looks really cool. I have not played around with this one. It's not for pose tracking, but it's for taking an image and trying to figure out the Z depth of that image, how far away different pixels are. So let's take a look at this 3D photo demo right here. So you see we have an original, and it's in real time, it's processing it, and it segments out the background, and then it gives you the depth. So the lighter color pixels right here are closer together, and then it creates a nice little 3D image that you can kind of look around a little bit. So this is pretty amazing, but again, I have not looked into this one because it's not specifically for pose tracking, which I am interested in today. So let's take a look at another pose tracking one, and you're wondering like, well, what else do you need? Well, I need some hand poses. I want to track my hands. So here's a GIF showing off, but I want to see this in real life. So let's take a look at a demo. So in this next demo, we have hand tracking. This is amazing. So check this out. You can see each point along my hand. And of course it's in 2D space because I'm looking at it overlaid over my video here. But if you look below, you can see a 3D representation. My hand in 3D space. So look, this is really cool. We have hand tracking, we have face tracking, we have depth estimation, we have body tracking. What other goodies can we find? Well, so I explored one last model for pose capture, and that's this body segmentation one. It uses something called bodypose. And as I was looking at this, I actually forgot it was called body segmentation. And when I looked at the points that were coming out of it, I was a little disappointed. It does track points along your body. It didn't seem to track them as accurately. Pose detection is amazing. This one, it was all right. It didn't track the points seemingly all that well. But the thing is, really, it's intended for segmentation, which is this type of thing where you try to get the outline of the person that you're trying to track. So you can do things like background removal or other things like that. So you're grabbing the outline of the person rather than the specific points, which this model does let you do. So basically that's it on the models that we're going to be looking at. And I'm already excited about building some of this stuff into a component that we can all use, track points, visualize them. Now, unfortunately, we won't really have time to build a proper application. We're just going to be making a component. And so I thought it'd be really cool to see a neat demo by someone. And this person, it's a developer named Shan, and I think it's a she. She put together something called Pose Animator. And so look at this. She put together this combination of pose tracking your face, tracking your body, and also like kind of blending some SVG paths together to create some character animation. So I want to try that out right now. All right, so this is loaded up. We're getting some pretty decent frame rates here, but I am not a girl. I'm gonna switch it over to boy, and all of a sudden I have some different illustrated assets that are SVG based. Yeah, this is pretty fantastic. So you're noticing as I talk, his mouth is moving, and turn my head, wave high a little bit. So in fact, I think I'm gonna finish up this segment as this character right here, right? So let's do that. All right, so as promised, I am a real animated boy. I I am made of SVG paths, and I think we're using face landmarks, that Tensorflow.js model, to generate points along my face, and simultaneously using something like pose detection to track all the points on my body as well. So if my whole body was in the camera frame, it would be able to see everything from, the top of my head down to my feet. It's pretty awesome. It's a pretty awesome demo by this developer named Shen. And I'm really excited to try all this stuff out, wrap it up in a web component, so maybe you folks at home can do something similar to this. Anyway, these are really complicated use cases for machine learning. I'm sure you've seen some really cool stuff as well, especially like with Midjourney, DALL-E. All that stuff is machine learning based. I have no idea if it has anything to do with TensorFlow. That's another question I'd like to ask Jason. But there's also like really simpler use cases for TensorFlow as well. So I want to ask all about that, find out what Jason is doing to bring TensorFlow.js to the web development community. So I'm going to give you all a very SVG animated wave goodbye and tell you to stay tuned, because we'll be talking to Jason Mays next. And then after that, we'll be building a brand new web component to do all of this stuff. It's going to be pretty awesome. So again, stay tuned. Bye.